This man had absolutely no idea that one random phone call was about to destroy his entire secret life. During a live variety show, the host grabbed the MC's phone. At first it looked harmless, just a random contact challenge for content. But then the host found a contact saved as wife. And before anyone could react, the call was already connecting. Live. The MC instantly felt his soul leaving his body. Because the woman on the other end was secretly his contract wife. And not just any woman either. She was the nation's biggest, the Ice Queen actress herself. Their marriage was supposed to remain hidden forever. No public appearances, no leaks, no exceptions. The MC desperately tried to stop the call, but it was already too late. Then her cold voice echoed across the live stream. Do you miss me? The entire situation instantly turned into a nuclear-level disaster. Our boy nearly ascended on the spot. Thinking fast, he lowered his voice and quickly warned her. I'm filming a variety show right now. The actress paused for half a second, then instantly switched back to her public persona. Her tone became colder than an iceberg, as if the previous sentence never happened. She casually claimed she was rehearsing lines, and that the romantic sentence was just dialogue practice. The MC immediately played along, then ended the call at lightning speed. Unfortunately, the host was already smiling, like a man who smelled drama. That smile said everything. This guy had just found premium content. The MC could only force a laugh and defend himself. He claimed he was just a hardcore fan. A super fan, in fact. Someone who grew up watching the actress's movies. Someone who admired her for years. And like every normal fan, he jokingly saved her name as wife. The explanation sounded reasonable enough. But the host wasn't about to let him escape. The guy immediately started teasing him, claiming he wanted to marry the actress too. And honestly, that was the exact moment disaster struck. Because unlike everyone else, the MC wasn't joking. He had already done it. The marriage certificate existed. The actress was already his wife, legally, officially, completely. Meanwhile, the chat exploded. Fans rushed into battle. The shipping wars began, and our boy could only sit there watching the chaos unfold. After the recording finally ended, he headed straight for the hotel, hidden beneath a mask and cap. It was already deep into the night. And when he opened the suite door, he found the Ice Queen asleep on the couch, still holding tomorrow's script in her hand. Only one lamp remained on. The warm light softened her features, making the untouchable superstar look unexpectedly vulnerable. The MC unconsciously slowed his steps, but before he could get close, she woke up, rubbing her sleepy eyes, then asking softly, "You're back?" That single sentence nearly crit hit the MC, because nobody else ever got to see this side of her. Not the fans, not the media, only him. And that realization hit harder than expected. Then she stretched lazily and placed her injured leg onto his lap. Apparently, she had fallen on set today and wanted him to apply medicine. The MC lowered his gaze A dark bruise covered her calf. Proof of another brutal filming day. His expression changed, because this wasn't the first time. Not even close. He had watched her struggle for years, grinding harder than anyone else in the industry. And every scar carried the price of her success. The edge of her robe shifted slightly, revealing a flawless stretch of pale skin. And right in the middle sat a fresh purple bruise. Like someone had spilled ink onto fresh snow. The MC swallowed hard. For a moment, he almost told her to quit, to stop suffering, to let him take care of everything. Because honestly, he had more than enough money to support her forever. But the words never left his mouth, because he understood something important. The spotlight wasn't given to her. She fought for every single inch of it. He had seen the process himself. The endless training sessions, the brutal stunt rehearsals, the nights where she barely slept, and the countless times she smiled despite being exhausted. So instead, he quietly applied the medicine, carefully rubbing the bruise, trying not to hurt her any further. Then he hesitated. Before bringing up the live stream, he explained everything. The host, the accidental call, the fans losing their minds, and the online backlash. The actress listened quietly, without interrupting, without reacting. Then she casually said something insane. If they're attacking you that much, why didn't I just post our marriage certificate? The MC nearly dropped the medicine bottle. Bro's soul almost disconnected from the server. This was not a drill. This was a catastrophe. He immediately shut the idea down. No, absolutely not. The actress was currently at the peak of her career. One wrong move could trigger a media apocalypse. The MC wasn't worried about himself. Not at all. He was worried about her. But, unfortunately, the Ice Queen misunderstood everything. And just like that, her expression turned cold. And before the MC could explain himself, a pillow and blanket came flying out of the bedroom. The verdict had been delivered. You're sleeping on the couch tonight. The MC stood there, completely stunned. Wait, what? The Ice Queen crossed her arms, looking equal parts adorable and dangerous. Apparently, married life had entered hard mode. Our boy sat on the couch, in confusion, trying to figure out what went wrong. Then his phone suddenly buzzed. A newly made industry friend was calling, and the guy sounded hungry for gossip. So tell me honestly, did you actually bag the movie queen? The MC immediately frowned, telling him to watch his mouth. But the guy kept pushing. The MC quickly lied, denying everything. The caller laughed. A nasty kind of laugh. Then he started spreading rumors, claiming the actress only got famous because of wealthy sponsors. The kind of toxic NPC nonsense the MC absolutely hated. He hung up instantly because nobody knew the truth better than him. Nobody. His mind drifted back to the first time they met. The MC was only 15, and the future movie queen was 18. Fresh off his first breakout success. At that time, he became a spokesperson for the MC's family, company. Meanwhile, our boy was a disaster. a full-time gaming addict, a professional troublemaker, and an academic NPC. His father finally got fed up, dragging him to the event. The MC hated every second, so naturally, he decided to cause problems on purpose. Bro entered the store on roller skates, because apparently that sounded like a great idea. Unfortunately, the floor had other plans. The tiles were slippery, way too slippery, and the MC completely lost control. He shot forward like a missile, straight toward a staircase waiting to delete him. The crowd scattered instantly. People screamed. Someone dropped a drink. Everyone expected a disaster. Then a pair of arms grabbed him, right before impact, saving him completely. It was the future movie queen, the very person everyone came to see. Even after being slammed backward, he refused to let go. Instead, he checked on the MC first. "Are you okay?" And just like that, the MC suffered a critical emotional hit. Because up close, the guy was unreal. His hair carried a faint floral scent. His eyes sparkled like someone had stuffed galaxies into them. Most importantly, there wasn't a trace of annoyance. No anger. No arrogance. Only concern. Pure concern. That single moment changed the MC forever. His ears burned. His heart raced. And for the first time in his life, the troublemaker fell completely silent. Because he was doomed. Absolutely doomed. Our boy had just unlocked his first crush. And it was game over. Before that day, he was famous for being lazy, a walking disaster. Nobody expected much from him. But after meeting the actress, everything changed. His father immediately noticed and played the ultimate parenting card. If your grades improve by 50 points, I'll invest more resources into his career. The MC accepted instantly. No hesitation whatsoever. Because he knew the entertainment industry was brutal. The actress had no backing, no powerful connections. So the MC started grinding, like a man possessed. 3 years of nonstop effort. From bottom-tier student to one of the best in school. The academic comeback arc was insane. And his father kept his promise. Real money. Real projects. Real opportunities for the actress. His career exploded upward. But success attracts haters. And the rumors became vicious. People accused him of everything. Sugar daddies, sponsors, secret deals, and shady favors. The MC was furious, constantly fighting antis online, until his parents confiscated everything. Phone, laptop, basically his entire battle station. Their message was simple. Go study instead of arguing with NPCs. Years passed. His future was already planned out. elite university, study abroad, take over the family business. Everything was decided. Except one thing. The actress. He was never part of the plan. And that made him special. Years later, before the college entrance exam, the MC arranged a private meeting. Like some secret agent operation. The actress slipped away quietly, avoiding managers and assistants, then pushed open the lounge door. And the first thing he said was, "Well, look who's here." The kid came back for another autograph. But the autograph was never the real goal. The MC just wanted an excuse to talk longer. So he played along obediently. Speaking so softly, it was almost a whisper. "Can you write something else too?" The actress thought for a moment, then added another line above the signature. "To student Xie Sinan, study hard and keep improving." A trace of sadness flashed through his eyes. Having the chance to study is something precious. Back then, the MC didn't understand. He thought it was just encouragement, nothing more. But years later, he would finally understand what those words meant. Because unlike him, the actress never had that opportunity. The MC treasured that postcard. Like it was a legendary item. He kept it hidden inside his textbooks. And checked it every single day. Whenever he got tired. Whenever he wanted to give up. The postcard became his motivation. Buff. On the back was a promotional photo. The actress wore braided hair, smiling brightly at the camera. Pure, innocent, beautiful. Unfortunately, one of his classmates noticed it and immediately snatched it away. The guy started laughing. Seriously? The rich young master is a fanboy? The MC instantly reached for the postcard, demanding it back. But the classmate wasn't finished. Not even close. The guy started spreading rumors. Ugly rumors, claiming the actress entertained rich men, claiming his success came from dirty deals. The classroom instantly exploded. Everyone gathered around, watching the drama unfold. The MC's face darkened. His patience disappeared. Immediately. "Show proof or shut up." His voice was ice cold. Even some classmates felt the rumor sounded suspicious. But the guy doubled down, claiming he had evidence, photos stored on his phone. Then he started digging through his bag, smirking the entire time. And then he said the worst thing possible. "Your father was at that dinner too." The MC's blood pressure instantly maxed out. Big mistake. Huge mistake. Because the next second, the MC threw a punch. A clean slap face combo. The classmate crashed onto the floor, taking multiple desks with him. Books flew everywhere. The classroom turned into a battlefield. The MC grabbed the postcard, then snatched the guy's phone. And without hesitation, he snapped it in half. Absolute menace behavior. The aftermath wasn't pretty. The school nearly expelled him. Nearly. Only his family's influence saved him. But at home? Different story. His father completely lost it. The belt came out. And so did the lecture. Have you lost your mind? You're fighting over a celebrity? Then came the threat. The ultimate threat. If this continues, I'll personally destroy her career. The room fell silent. The MC clenched his fist, but refused to argue. Because one question haunted him. What if the rumors were true? No. He immediately rejected the idea. The actress he knew wasn't like that. Not even remotely. He remembered that smile. Those bright eyes. That gentle concern. Everything felt genuine. The MC refused to believe otherwise. Not without proof. Not ever. That night, he couldn't sleep. His thoughts kept spinning. Until he finally did something reckless. He called the number on the autograph. The private number nobody else had. The line rang. And rang. And just before disconnecting, someone finally answered. The actress sounded exhausted. And behind him, the sound of a noisy banquet. The MC sat upright immediately. Because his worst fear was becoming reality. Where are you? He asked. The actress didn't answer directly. Instead, asking, "Do you need something?" The MC hesitated, not daring to ask the real question. So he made up an excuse. A terrible excuse. I'm home alone. And I'm kind of bored. Can you talk with me for a bit? The actress went quiet. Then suddenly, another voice appeared. A drunk middle-aged man. Miss Lin. So, this is where you've been hiding. The MC's expression instantly changed. Because something felt very wrong. The actress politely tried to leave. But the man grabbed her wrist. Refusing to let go, she tried to negotiate, offering repayment, offering money. But the drunk man laughed. And what he said next made the MC's blood run cold. I don't want money. I want you. The MC immediately demanded the location, no hesitation, no second thoughts. The actress had barely revealed the hotel name before the call was violently cut off. Our boy grabbed his jacket and sprinted out the door. He even swiped his dad's car keys on the way out. Bro slammed the gas pedal like he was entering a ranked match. But the police got there first. The creep had attempted something unforgivable and was instantly put in handcuffs. Meanwhile, the actress was giving her statement. Her hair was a mess, and her dress had been torn during the struggle. The MC waited silently outside. The moment she appeared, he covered her shoulders with his jacket, then checked her over from head to toe in panic. Are you okay? She visibly flinched, instinctively pulling away from him, then quietly shook her head. Her thank you was softer than a falling feather. Then she simply walked past him. Her steps felt incredibly heavy. The MC finally called out to her. A question he'd been holding back exploded out. Why were you drinking with a guy like that? She suddenly stopped, standing beside the road. Her expression instantly froze over. Like ice forming on steel. It's none of your business. The MC couldn't accept that answer. He knew how much money she already earned, so he stepped right in front of her, his chest burning with frustration. He called her name directly, demanding to know why she kept destroying herself. His rapid-fire questions finally hit a nerve. She spun around, instantly. Her eyes were completely red. Because I'm greedy. I'm just a bottomless pit. Her voice trembled. Yet she refused to lower her head. Young master, you helped me before. I remember that. But don't use your morals to measure my life. The MC had never seen her. Like this, like a bird cornered at the edge of a cliff. Every feather raised. Her eyes filled with bloodshot veins. He froze on the spot. His throat tightening. Did something happen to you? Her eyelashes trembled. Tears shimmered at the corners of her eyes. Whether it was exhaustion or heartbreak, he couldn't tell. Please stop asking. She removed his jacket, folded it neatly, and returned it. We're not the same kind of people. Stay away from me. And then came the fatal blow. She pulled out her phone. Her fingers moved quickly, deleting his number right in front of him. Then blocking him, without hesitation. Don't come looking for me. Just like that. His secret crush ended. Before he could even confess his feelings, she completely vanished from his world. And it wasn't just him. She disappeared from magazines, from billboards, headlines, and everywhere else. That very night, the drunk criminal was released and immediately sold a story to the media. He claimed her father was a deadbeat. Years ago, a construction accident happened, and supposedly the family ran from the debt. He accused her of earning huge salaries, yet refusing to repay what was owed. The internet went feral. As soon as the news dropped, the online mobs assembled. She was branded a villain overnight. Endorsements vanished. Shows were removed. Everyone wanted a piece of her, but she never argued back. Instead, she posted transfer records, compensation receipts, debt repayment, screenshots. Only then did everyone realize every cent she earned had gone into that abyss. Paying workers and victims, settling interest payments one by one. But just as things calmed down, another boss battle appeared. Her father showed up, wearing torn old clothes, dragging an elderly relative before cameras, claiming she abused him despite sending money, even accusing her of abandoning the family. The internet exploded again. This time she said nothing. In court, she sat beside her mother. Her eyes looked completely empty, like a porcelain doll drained of color. Eventually, she signed the support agreement and paid an enormous settlement. The next day, she left the country with her mother, leaving absolutely no trace behind. 2 years later, the MC finally saw her again. By then, he was studying overseas, searching for her whenever he had free time. But clues were almost non-existent. He only knew they lived in the same country. Then one day, his friend suddenly grabbed his arm. A film crew had arrived at their school, and there was supposedly an Asian actress. His heart instantly skipped a beat. He rushed out without even grabbing his bag and spotted her in the crowd immediately. She was talking with the director, her long hair tied into a high ponytail. The wind brushed strands across her face. He barely dared to blink. Then she suddenly turned. Her gaze crossed the crowd and landed directly on him. For a brief second, her pupils shrank. Her lips moved slightly, as if she wanted to say something, but she stopped herself, lowering her eyes, then walking away like he was nothing more than an NPC. The MC stood there, stunned, his hand still hanging in the air, before slowly lowering it. Yet she looked even more radiant now, beautiful and confident, her skin almost glowing, even among countless foreigners around her. Her presence completely dominated the scene, and that sci-fi movie was packed with action. This wasn't fake Hollywood action either. Every fight scene was brutally real. She got slammed to the ground, then forced herself back up. Again, her knees were scraped, raw, and her wrists were covered in bruises from the stunt work. The second the director yelled, "Cut!" she immediately reviewed every movement with the stunt team. By the time filming ended, the sky was already turning dark. She dragged her suitcase, alone, heading toward the school gate. But the MC noticed something immediately. Her walking pace looked slightly off. Every step with her right foot seemed painful. Without thinking, he chased after her, his voice tightening, with nerves, calling out her name once again. Her shoulders instantly stiffened, but she kept walking forward. The MC hurried around to stop her, even reaching toward her sleeve before forcing himself to stop. Finally, she turned around, a trace of surprise crossing her face. She instinctively stepped back. But that movement betrayed her injury. A painful gasp escaped her lips. The MC immediately crouched down and checked her ankle. Sure enough, it was swollen badly. Before she could refuse, he dropped into position, patting his own back. "Get on, I'll carry you." She opened her mouth to protest, but he grabbed her wrist first, his voice low and completely serious. "No arguments, let me take you home." Up close, she looked different, far thinner than he remembered. Like she'd been carrying the world alone. Her long hair brushed against his neck, carrying the faint scent of shampoo. Slowly, she wrapped her arms around him, resting her chin on his shoulder. Her voice sounded unusually quiet. "My reputation is awful now. You're still willing to get close?" The MC didn't even look back, just adjusted his grip, holding her more securely. Just because people see something doesn't make it true. My heart already knows. You're not that kind of person. For the first time, she didn't argue back. Her cheek rested quietly against his shoulder. Warm breaths brushing his neck. Then something unexpected happened. A tear landed on his collar, and her voice became hoarse. "My father is a gambling addict. I've given him money countless times, but he lost everything, every single time." The city wind blew through the street, carrying fallen leaves through the air. Yet neither of them spoke, because the truth was finally coming out. She had never been greedy. She had never been selfish. She was trapped. Her father used her mother as leverage. Every attempt to escape was blocked. Every paycheck became another chain. The actors continued, speaking softly, the burden finally spilling out. Tears of pain at once. The MC listened, silently, feeling his chest grow heavier with every word. She wasn't falling into darkness. She had been dragged there, not because she wanted to, because she had no choice. For a while she stayed quiet. Only the sound of their breathing remained. Then another tear soaked into his shirt. And her voice cracked completely. I never hurt my mother. Not once. She's the person I treasure most. Those accusations online had all been lies. The pain in her voice said everything. Years of suffering. Years of silence. Years of sacrifice. All of it finally surfaced. Escaping through clenched teeth. This wasn't corruption. It was survival. This wasn't greed. It was a desperate fight to protect family. I escaped twice. Once because your father helped me. And once because you showed up. She spoke almost in a whisper. You are good people. The MC swallowed hard after hearing that. Then why didn't you tell me? She paused briefly. Because you were young. And I didn't want to drag you down. For years, she had hidden every weakness. Never letting anyone see the cracks. Only now was the mask finally breaking. 2 years earlier, she spent everything she owned just to save her mother, pulling her out of a household filled with abuse. A real-life nightmare. The MC felt suffocated hearing it all, angry at himself for missing the signs years ago, for not understanding her sooner. The city lights reflected across the street. Leaves drifted around them, and he finally made up his mind. You still have me. I'm not a kid anymore. This time, I'll protect you. She didn't answer. Soon they arrived at an old apartment building. She gently tapped his shoulder. We're home. Then she invited him upstairs. The MC carried her up the stairs, and the door slowly opened. Standing there was her mother. She walked with difficulty and looked extremely cautious. The first thing she asked was heartbreaking. Another debt collector? The actress quickly smiled and introduced the MC. Mom, he's my friend. Only then did the woman relax. She welcomed him inside. A warm pot of tea appeared shortly after. The atmosphere gradually softened until the conversation reached school. The mother's expression suddenly changed. A layer of sadness filled her eyes. Because the actress had once been accepted there too. Turns out the actress had once been a straight-up academic weapon, the kind of student who never accepted second place. But the moment her mother mentioned it, the actress immediately cut her off. That's ancient history. Let it go. She never liked looking backward. Every old wound had been sealed away long ago. Soon she shuffled toward the kitchen. Have you eaten yet? You should head home soon. Naturally, the MC followed and casually took the basket from her hands. That's when he noticed a fresh scrape on her hand. He immediately stopped her. Let me cook instead. You just applied medicine. The smell will ruin the food. She couldn't help laughing. Wow, that's surprisingly considerate. Then she rolled up his sleeves. Fine, I'll teach you the easiest recipe. What she didn't know was that the MC already knew how to cook, but bro stayed quiet because he was enjoying this way too much. He even rubbed flour on his hands, then held them up dramatically. Can you tie my apron for me? She instantly laughed. You're really a spoiled young master. Then grabbed her usual apron, her hands reaching around his waist. The move felt dangerously intimate. The MC's heart nearly hit itself. Still, he asked, casually, ever thought about going back to university? We could actually become classmates. She simply shook her head. I have a different goal now. I'm going to focus on movies and become the best actress possible. The way she said it was different. There wasn't a trace of hesitation. Her eyes practically sparkled. Like an entire galaxy lived inside them. The MC smiled immediately. Then you'll definitely make it. After a brief pause, he added, so, future movie queen, can you unblock my number? Instant emotional damage. She took a step back, her fingers brushing her phone. A complicated emotion flashed through her eyes. Then she quietly answered, I already told you. We're from different worlds. That hasn't changed. The MC still couldn't understand why she kept pushing him away. But he refused to give up. Day after day, he kept visiting, like a persistent raid boss. Then, one afternoon, he spotted a suspicious man outside. The guy kept staring at their apartment window, and the MC quickly discovered the truth. The gambling father had done it again. He lost all the support money, then piled up new debts. Now debt collectors were targeting the actress and her mother. The MC wasn't about to let that happen. So he quietly stepped in and handled several problems himself. No credit. No recognition. Just pure Sigma behavior. Unfortunately, secrets never stay buried. The actress eventually found out. She spent an entire night silent, then made a shocking decision. The very next morning, she packed her bags, preparing to leave again. Before going, she handed him a bank card. Everything you spent is inside. I don't want to owe you. The MC immediately grabbed her wrist, his voice trembling. For the first time, where are you going? How am I supposed to find you? She lowered her eyes, refusing to answer immediately. Outside, snow was beginning to fall. A cold winter scene straight out of a drama. She wore a thick knitted hat, snowflakes resting on her eyelashes, her face pale as frost. After a long silence, she finally spoke. Wait for me. When I can truly stand beside you, when I can enter your world properly, I'll come back. The MC couldn't understand it at all, because she had never left his world. Not even for a single day. Then she looked directly into his eyes. More serious than ever. Stop looking for me. Focus on your own future. Walk the path you're meant to walk. Live the life you're meant to live. The MC immediately tried to object, but she cut him off before he could finish. If we ever meet again, I hope we're both standing at the top. That single sentence hit harder than any confession, leaving the MC completely frozen. Then she turned around and walked away, slowly disappearing into the snowfall. Like winter itself, beautiful, untouchable, and destined to leave. The memory stayed with him for years. Every word burned into his mind. Every promise remained unfinished. Every feeling remained unsaid. And yet the MC never stopped believing, because deep down, he knew. The next time they met, everything would change. What he didn't know was that fate was already preparing the next arc. A far bigger challenge. One that would test both of them to their absolute limits. And that's where the real story begins. The climb toward the summit. The rise of a future superstar. And the return of a love neither could escape. A promise left unfinished. A reunion waiting to happen. And two people chasing the same peak. Neither willing to stop halfway. Neither willing to surrender. Because, in the end, their story was never about separation. It was always about becoming worthy of reunion. The actress had said it herself. Wait for me. And one day, I'll come back. The future movie queen slowly lifted her eyes and locked onto the MC. The warmth was gone, replaced by a cold determination forged through hardship. Then she delivered a sentence that hit harder than any attack. She told him to stop chasing the past and focus on his own future. She wanted him to walk the path meant for him and build the life he was supposed to live. The MC tried to object, but reality was not giving him that chance. She cut him off before he could speak. If fate ever allowed them to meet again, she hoped both of them would be standing at the absolute peak. That single line rooted the MC to the ground like an NPC caught in a stun lock. Then she turned around and walked away. She looked like a fragile snowflake, drifting away, vanishing silently, before spring ever had the chance to arrive. After that day, 4 entire years passed without a single message. Meanwhile, the MC returned home and inherited the family empire. His schedule became an absolute nightmare. His father practically dumped the entire company onto his shoulders, then happily retired like a true veteran speedrunner. Whenever he managed to catch a rare break, he would revisit old memories that refused to disappear. One day, something unexpected happened. A forgotten postcard slipped out from between old belongings. Printed on it was her bright smile from years ago. Pure, gentle, and impossible to forget. On the back was a small, handwritten message. The words looked simple, but they carried the weight of an entire lifetime. She had wished for his success and encouraged him to keep moving forward. The MC stared at those faded words in silence. Too much time had passed. Even the paper had begun turning yellow. He wondered whether the girl who once cried on his back was even real. Maybe she truly existed. Or maybe she had become nothing more than a dream he replayed endlessly. Before he could finish reminiscing, her name suddenly exploded across every trending list. A massive blockbuster had changed everything. She had swept major international awards. The former struggling girl returned home covered in glory and prestige. And her first move was an absolute power play. She publicly addressed every accusation from her past and returned every ounce of slander to its source. She even sent her toxic gambler father straight to prison. Televisions, phones, and billboards became impossible to escape. Her face was everywhere. The media crowned her the returning goddess of youth. Every headline praised her endlessly. Every platform pushed her story. Even the people who hated her most were now her biggest fans. The switch-up was honestly insane. Yet nobody bothered asking one question. How many times had she fallen while struggling alone overseas? How many years had she spent buried among background extras? And how many tears had she swallowed in silence? The MC stared at her image on the screen. The innocence was completely gone. Her long hair flowed like waves of living fire. Her confidence radiated from every movement, but her eyes were colder than a frozen lake. She had achieved something almost impossible. She carved her way into the international film industry through sheer willpower. 6 years transformed her from a nobody into a queen. Every step had been paid for in blood and sacrifice, and the MC had honored his side of the promise. 2. He followed the path she told him to walk. The carefree young master no longer existed. Now everyone addressed him as a respected CEO. Maybe that meant he had finally fulfilled their old agreement. And if that was true, then it was finally his turn to be selfish. He decided to charge directly into her world and face her openly. The moment that thought appeared, He could no longer sit still. The Sigma Chad immediately dragged his retired father back to the office. The old man was practically thrown back onto the CEO chair. The MC thanked him in advance. Because he had something far more important to do, his father almost lost his mind. What could possibly be more important than retirement and family? The MC answered without hesitation. He was going to bring home their future daughter-in-law. The old man immediately understood who he meant, but warned that she was no longer the same girl. The MC simply refused to back down. Eventually, his father surrendered. He told the MC to go chase his dream if he was that determined. But if he failed, he had better come back to work. The MC confidently promised even bigger results. His words sounded fearless. But internally, he was nervous. Too many years had passed. He no longer knew how she would see him now. Fortunately, fate offered him an opportunity. A friend was producing a celebrity dating reality show. The female cast consisted entirely of top-tier stars. The male cast were ordinary people from different professions. His friend called him in the middle of the night and begged the MC to save the show with his presence. At first, the MC had zero interest. Then he heard one name, and everything changed instantly. The movie queen herself was participating. The most beautiful actress in Asia was suddenly within reach. There was no way he could refuse. His friend could hardly believe it. After all the persuasion attempts had failed, the MC actually agreed on the spot and immediately changed his plans. Soon he arrived at the luxurious filming estate. The summer sunlight painted the grounds beautifully. A gentle breeze drifted through the gardens. And there she stood, beneath the trees. The wind played softly with her hair. She turned slightly, and instantly made the entire scene lose its color. Then someone called the MC's name. The movie queen looked back. Their eyes met, and her composure visibly faltered. As if her heart had been struck unexpectedly, the MC finally spoke. Careful not to shatter this unbelievable reunion. His greeting carried years of longing. She looked completely stunned by his appearance. Clearly, she never expected this. The MC admitted he could not watch her choose someone else. She froze, and suddenly seemed unsure what to say. She warned him that getting close to her came with consequences. The MC smiled, without fear, and asked for the chance to bear those consequences himself. For a moment, she completely lost her defenses. She admitted she had originally joined to find a partner. But now everything felt different. The emotions she buried resurfaced. Before she could finish explaining, the MC interrupted her. He already knew the excuse she was about to use. This time, he refused to accept it, because he had already reached her world, and there was nowhere left for her to run. She tried pretending not to understand, but the act quickly failed. A trace of vulnerability appeared. Years of distance vanished, and she complained softly. The Ice Queen mask finally cracked apart, revealing the same girl the MC had never forgotten. And in that moment, his heart completely melted. Even then, the MC forced himself to take a step back and play it cool. He refused to pressure her no matter how badly he wanted an answer. Instead, he told her she could take all the time she needed. Then the Sigma Chad turned around as if he was leaving. After all, if she did not choose him, he would simply follow whatever the show arranged. But the movie queen's lips immediately curled upward. Her voice softened in a way nobody else had ever heard. She sounded almost offended. The icy shell around her heart finally cracked open, and beneath it was the same vulnerable girl she had hidden for years. The MC nearly pulled her into his arms right then and there. But he suppressed the urge and answered with remarkable restraint. He assured her there was no pressure. She could continue looking around. She could even search for the perfect match. Then he turned and walked away. His tone was calm enough to sound completely genuine. But the hidden jealousy was off the charts. He repeated that he would accept the show's arrangements. Soon, the first free choice pairing session arrived. A popular idol actress immediately selected the MC. That night, they enjoyed a luxurious candlelight dinner beneath the stars. The wine was expensive. The atmosphere was flawless, but the MC was mentally FK the entire time. His attention kept drifting toward the movie queen. She sat quietly on a nearby bench. One male contestant tried serenading her with a guitar. Unfortunately for him, she immediately critiqued his performance. She pointed out his pronunciation errors, then corrected his musical emphasis. The poor guy was cooked. Another contestant attempted a completely different strategy. He showed up wearing only swim trunks, then spun around to flex his abs, like a final boss. The movie queen barely looked at him. Instead, she recommended a degreasing detergent she endorsed, and suggested sending him a few bottles. The MC almost lost it. That roast was absolutely lethal. After the date ended, the MC secretly made handmade chocolates, then knocked on her door. She leaned casually against the doorway and gave him a suspicious glance. She wondered why he was not giving them to his date. The MC calmly revealed an important detail. The other girl did not even like sweets. That instantly changed everything, because he remembered something special. He had made this box specifically for her and nobody else. The movie queen froze mid-motion. Then the MC made his move. He asked if one gift could buy him a date tomorrow. She remained silent for several tense seconds, then reached out and accepted the chocolates before quickly shutting the door. She never agreed, but she never refused either. The answer came the next morning. Another female guest approached the MC with obvious interest. Then the movie queen suddenly appeared. She shoved a writing crop directly into his hand. Her tone was firm and decisive. She ordered him to follow her to the ranch behind the estate. Dressed in striking red riding clothes, she tied her hair high and instantly became the center of everyone's attention. The MC quickly caught up and rode beside her. Horse hooves thundered across the grasslands. The wind roared through their sleeves. The sunrise climbed over distant mountains. Even the camera crew struggled to keep up. Only a drone remained overhead, recording everything. Eventually, the horses slowed down. Then she suddenly leaned toward him. Without warning, she grabbed him and yanked hard. The MC was pulled completely off his horse, and she immediately followed him down. He protected her as they tumbled into the grass. The scent of fresh earth surrounded them. She lay against his chest, catching her breath. One hand pressed firmly against him. Her eyes shone brighter than ever. Then she finally revealed what had been weighing on her heart. She admitted she never wanted to drag him into her problems, but he refused to stay away. Powerful emotions swirled inside her gaze, and the MC could feel every bit of it. He gently intertwined his fingers with hers, silently encouraging her to continue. Then the truth finally emerged. Her mother's condition was rapidly worsening, and she was running out of time. Her voice became incredibly soft. Each word landed heavily on the MC's heart. She needed a temporary boyfriend, someone who could reassure her. Mother. The MC instantly escalated the mission. Instead of dating, he proposed marriage. The movie queen was stunned, but the MC's confidence never wavered. His family wanted him married anyway, and he only wanted one woman. His proposal was brutally straightforward, yet his heartbeat was racing like crazy. Sweat formed in his palms. Every second felt like an eternity. Even her touch made his nerves explode. He feared rejection. He feared disappointment. Most of all, He feared losing her again, but she simply stared into his eyes. Then she nodded and accepted. The movie queen leaned closer. Her lips brushed dangerously near his ear. Her voice sounded sweeter than any melody. She thanked him for the chocolates. The MC felt like fireworks were detonating inside his chest. His entire body burned with happiness. He wrapped his arms around her waist and promised to cook her favorite foods every day. The dream had become reality. Even now, it felt unreal. The woman he had loved for over a decade had finally become his wife. She was the goddess, admired by millions. Yet her name appeared beside only one man's. And that man was the MC. Unfortunately, there was one painful catch. Their marriage was built on a contract. Only their parents knew the truth. The public knew absolutely nothing. No announcements were ever made. She even gave him an escape clause. If he found someone better, he could leave at any time. The secret marriage lasted a year, and the MC cherished every single day. Then her mother finally passed away. The fear buried inside him grew uncontrollably. It wrapped around his heart like chains, because he knew the uncomfortable truth. She only agreed to marry him for her mother's sake, not because of love. Now that the reason was gone, would she still stay in this marriage? Or was the MC about to lose everything he fought for? But the thing destroying the MC's sanity every night was much simpler. Did the movie queen actually love him or not? The guy had signed countless billion-dollar acquisition contracts. He had dominated more negotiations than he could remember. Yet nothing had ever made him this helpless. Then his father suddenly called again, and immediately started carpet bombing him with questions. The old man was restless. Apparently, retirement was boring. After all, his son was already married, so why was he still fooling around in entertainment circles? Then the old man heard the MC was sleeping on the couch. That only made things worse. The embarrassment was unreal. His father immediately started flexing. Back in his day, things were different. Like his son, he claimed he was never stuck role-playing a pure love protagonist. The MC moved the phone away from his ear. The secondhand embarrassment was strong. Clearly, the old man had been watching too many short videos. The MC suggested giving him more work instead. That attack landed directly on a weak point. His father immediately switched to serious mode. He claimed to be a relationship expert and promised to make the daughter-in-law chase him instead. The confidence was absolutely absurd. Then the old man made his move. He secretly leaked news that the MC was eligible again. Because of the hidden marriage, the outside world still believed the MC was single. That rumor immediately attracted attention. Potential marriage candidates appeared from everywhere. The gossip spread at lightning speed, and within days it reached the movie queen's ears. The MC rushed home to explain everything. He opened the door, then spotted a neatly folded document beside the bed. His heart immediately dropped, because it was a divorce agreement. At that moment, the MC felt every ounce of blood leave his body. His mind completely shut down. The worst-case scenario had appeared, and it looked devastating. Everything he feared suddenly became real. He felt like his entire world was collapsing. At the same time, his father called expecting praise for the master plan. Instead, disaster struck. The MC nearly exploded over the phone. The old man cheerfully asked for results. Surely the daughter-in-law had become jealous. Surely she claimed ownership immediately. Surely the plan worked perfectly. Instead, the MC revealed she wanted a divorce. The old man's genius strategy had become a catastrophe. The MC roasted him harder than anyone ever had. Then he hung up. The cigarette in his hand went out. His face turned pale. There was no way he could accept this. The MC immediately rushed to her filming location. He waited until she finished work and dragged her into the nanny van. The explanation came quickly. The dating rumors were fake. His father had created the entire mess. The movie queen listened quietly, but exhaustion filled her eyes. She believed his parents disliked her. That insecurity had never disappeared. The MC immediately corrected her misunderstanding. His parents practically worshipped her. Now, she stared out the window in silence, then quietly insisted another woman would suit him better. The MC grabbed her shoulders and demanded she finally tell him the truth. The movie queen reached for the document. The paper was already worn from handling. She admitted it should have been given to him long ago. The words hit like a critical strike. The MC nearly blacked out. His body visibly swayed. Then she continued speaking. Right before his eyes, she tore the agreement in half. Then tore it again. White fragments scattered across the floor. She had changed her mind. A bittersweet smile appeared. Her eyes shimmered. Years of pain and longing hid inside them. Then she confessed the truth she buried for years. She did not want a divorce. She did not want to let him go. She did not want to sacrifice her happiness. She only wanted him beside her forever. The confession hit like lightning. The MC froze completely. He genuinely thought he misheard her. For 10 years, he had been the one chasing. Always from the shadows. Always watching her walk away. Always waiting through endless silence. He spent a decade hoping she would finally look back. Yet she believed she was the unworthy one. Then she looked up. Her fingertips traced his face, gently, as if confirming he was truly there. The moment felt too precious to be real. Back when the MC crashed into her life on roller skates. He looked like an overconfident little idiot. She genuinely thought he would ruin everything and get punished when he got home. Instead, his father reacted completely differently. The man treated her with kindness and gave her unforgettable encouragement. He told her to keep working hard and never destroy her own future. Then he made the funniest request imaginable. He asked her to help his son get better grades. The memory made her laugh. Apparently, the old man had always been hilarious. Why pray to a goddess when you can pray to an actress? Even the MC felt embarrassed, but he admitted the truth. Without meeting her, his life would be completely different. He would probably still be wasting time gaming. The movie queen shook her head. She disagreed completely. His family loved him. He grew up surrounded by warmth and support. People like that rarely fall apart. Then her voice gradually lowered. Because her story was different. Even after escaping her past, she still felt stained by everything she endured. That was why she worked so desperately. She wanted to outrun the nightmare behind her. Only after reaching the summit did she feel brave enough to reach out and touch the bright world the MC belonged to. A world she always admired from afar. Finally, the MC understood everything. When she said they belonged to different worlds, she never meant status, wealth, or fame. She simply spent too many years trapped inside her own trauma. At that moment, the MC finally realized something. The older beauty stepped closer. Her fingers gently lifted his chin. The touch was light, but the aura behind it was impossible to dodge. She looked him straight in the eyes. Sometimes your honest and clueless personality is dangerous. Dangerous in the best possible way. If she had been even a little toxic, she could have manipulated him long ago, and he would have stood no chance. The MC noticed the subtle movement in her throat. Then he fired back. So why didn't you? Her fingers tightened slightly. Because I still have a conscience. Every time she pushed him away, she was trying to leave him an escape route, but the MC never took it. He kept coming back. From the day she was 18 to the day he was 28, they separated and reunited. Reunited and tested each other. Tested each other and grew closer. An endless cycle. Then she leaned in. Her lips brushed past him, leaving behind a faint sweetness. She looked like a cat that had won. After all, the MC walked into this trap himself. Now she had no intention of holding back. The MC lowered his voice. So what's your plan? She smiled, then grabbed his tie, wrapping it around her hand. The MC immediately followed her lead. Forehead against forehead. They were only inches apart. The tension was unreal. She wanted to drag him into her world. The MC wrapped an arm around her waist, pulling her closer. Then he smiled. He was done trying to be everyone's hero. The person he truly liked. Just her, the awkward girl who once crashed into his life. And then she suddenly laughed, out loud. Apparently, his father had become a meme. The MC scratched his nose, then admitted the truth. Without meeting her, he'd probably still be wasting time gaming. She shook her head. A kid with a loving family, good parents, and a healthy childhood rarely goes completely off track. Then her voice softened. But I'm different. No matter how hard she climbed, the scars of the past never fully disappeared. She fought desperately, trying to escape an endless nightmare. Only after reaching the top did she feel brave enough to reach toward his bright world. A world untouched by darkness. And finally, the MC understood. This was never about status, never about money. She had trapped herself inside old wounds. Forgetting she already had wings, she raised her hand again, lifting his chin. Gentle, yet filled with stubborn determination. She called his name. That pure-hearted personality of his struck her again. It drove her crazy. If she had evil intentions, she would have conquered him ages ago, without leaving anything behind. The MC looked down at her, watching carefully. So why didn't you? Her fingers tightened, lightly scratching against him. Because I still have a heart. Every rejection was meant to protect him. But he refused to leave. He always returned. Years passed between them. Separation. Reunion. And then growing closer. Again. What a journey. She stepped forward, closing the distance. A sweet fragrance lingered between them, like a victorious cat. The MC had delivered himself willingly. Now, there was no escape. He whispered, "What happens next?" She smiled again, then yanked his tie. A bold power move. The MC cleaned down, foreheads touching once more. Ether looked away. The atmosphere burned. She wanted him beside her forever. The MC held her waist tighter, pulling her into his embrace. Then came the ultimate response. He no longer wanted to play the hero. What he wanted most was the girl who once blushed her way into his heart. And that realization changed everything.